So good morning, class 7 children. 2 days back, we had started the chapter number 16, water a precious resource. So already we have learned the misunderstood words. And yesterday we discussed that how much water is available for us, which can we use as a fresh water. So that was very less. That was around, if we compare the whole water of the earth as the bucket of water. So we can take only a quarter of spoon for our use. So it's really a very less amount, and it's a alarming situation uh, for all of us regarding the water scarcity. Second thing we discussed about the forms of the water, that water exists in solid, liquid, and gaseous form. In solid form, as snow and ice. In liquid form, in rivers, lakes, and in gaseous form, the water vapor present around us. So the water is continuously recycling. It keep on moving by the method of water cycle. And after that, we discussed water cycle, as we have already read in all the classes that what does a water cycle means. Next, we discuss the ways of how that water is stored in the as a groundwater. Next comes, today we are going to start with the depletion of water table. What are the reasons for the depletion of water table? Why the water table is going down? Okay, so let's start with it, today's work. Yes, Vansh Sharma, you may continue reading. Depletion of water table.
Okay, ma'am. Depletion of water table. Water drawn from under the ground gets restored by seepage of rainwater. The water table does not get affected as long as we draw as much water as is replenished by natural processes. However, water table may go down if the water is not sufficiently replenished. This may happen due to many reasons: increase in population, industrial and agricultural activities are some common factors affecting water table. Scanty rainfall is another factor that may deplete the water table. Yet another factor affecting water table could be deforestation and decrease in the effective area of the seepage of water.
Okay, beta. Kindly underline how many factors are there. What are the reasons for the depletion of water table? Nabil, afterwards you will be reading. First is increase in population. Second is industrialization. Third is agricultural activities. Fourth is scanty rainfall. Beta इसको underline कर लीजिए. It's not given in your book. Scanty rainfall. And next is deforestation. Deforestation and decrease in effective area for seepage of water. So these all are the 5 reasons for the depletion of water table. So let's read this one by one. Yes, first is increasing population. Yes, Nabil, you may continue.
Yes, ma'am. Increasing population. Increasing population create demand for construction of houses, shops, offices, roads, and pavements. This decreases the open areas like parks and playgrounds. This is from decreasing the seepage of rainwater into the ground. What could you be the consequence? Recall that Pucca flow does not allow water to seep in easily, while in a grass lawn, water seeps through it no time.
Okay, beta. So first is the increasing population creates the demand for the construction. Beta, you know that if the population is increasing, the demand for houses, shops, roads, offices, everything will increase. And what will happen? The open area will be very less. The people, if person need a house, what he or she will do? He will make a house over there, or the industries will be created. So what happened? That decrease the कच्चा एरिया, द ग्रास लॉन विल बी डिक्रीज्ड, और उससे क्या होगा? जो वाटर सीपेज टेंडेंसी है दैट विल डिक्रीज. अगर आपके पास चारों तरफ पक्का फ्लोर होगा तो वाटर जो सीपेज टेंडेंसी है दैट विल डिक्रीज. अगर आपके पास ग्रास लॉन है देन द वाटर टेंडेंसी विल increase. So in this way, the increasing population is going to be affected. Next, Divyanshu Pratap Singh, read the next paragraph. Moreover, unmute Divyanshu.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, before I read, ma'am, I have to ask, ma'am, in last minutes of meeting, ma'am, can I give flip learning of science?
Okay, I will tell you later on. I will tell in the end. Kindly read out. Start reading. Unmute.
Yes, ma'am. Moreover, a huge amount of water is required for construction work. Often, groundwater is used for this purpose. So, on the one hand, we are consuming more groundwater, and on the other hand, we are allowing lesser water to seep into the ground. This results in depletion of water table. In fact, the water table in some parts of many cities has gone down to alarmingly low levels.
Okay, so again,
Increase in
okay, beta. First is we have done, that is increasing population. Now this result in the depletion of water table. So means the water table has depleted, because on what we are saying, we are constructing, many of the construction work is doing, and the water is also required for that construction work. Okay, and that water is taken from the ground. Again, if we are not recharging the groundwater, so we don't have much of the water. That's why there is a shortage of much of the groundwater. Yes, Yatharth. Yatharth, unmute if you are able to do. Or Vedika, you can start. Yatharth, keep on muting. Next is increasing industries. I don't know, Yatharth, why
Yes,
are
ma'am.
you not able to unmute?
Ma'am, can I start?
Yes, yes.
Okay, ma'am. Increasing industries. Water is used by all the industries. Almost everything that we use needs water somewhere in its production process. The number of industries is increasing continuously. Water used by most of the industries is drawn from the ground. Activity 16.4. Name some industries familiar to you. Make a list of the products obtained from these and used in our daily life. Discuss with your teacher and parents how the growing industrial activity is responsible for the depletion of water table.
Okay, beta. So increasing industries means the water is used by most of the industries. And one hand, we are saying that population is also increasing. If the population is increasing, industries are also increasing. And much of the water is required for that industry. So the water used by most of the industries is drawn from the groundwater. So that's why we can say that the depletion of water table is taking place. Next, Anya, you may continue. Agricultural activities.
A majority of farmers in India depend upon rains for irrigating their crops. Irrigation systems such as canals are there only in a few places. Even these systems may suffer from lack of water due to erratic rainfall. Therefore, farmers have to use groundwater for irrigation. Population pressure of agriculture forces increasing use of groundwater groundwater day by day. This results in depletion of water table.
Okay, beta. So already we have read that agricultural activities, farmers depend upon the rain for their irrigation, for irrigating the crops. Whenever the crops are grown by the farmers, what they do? They use different systems, irrigation systems such as the canals are used, and they make use of the groundwater for irrigation. But if the groundwater is not recharged, then what will happen? There will be a lack of water. Even the scarcity of the water can affect the agriculture activities. So children, these three cases we had discussed. First case is the increasing population, increasing industries, agriculture activities, and two more are there. That was scanty rainfall. Now you have seen that due to the climatic change, the rainfall has very less. And next is deforestation. As the population is increasing, then what happens? We are cutting more and more trees for to make it for the living space. हम क्या कर रहे हैं? We are cutting more and more trees because we need houses to live. That's why. So that area is deforestation is done and reforestation is decreasing day by day. So this is your factors which are the reasons for the depletion of water table. Now children, let's see one of the video.
Water is a necessity for all life on Earth. Some even predict it to be the new oil. But why isn't there enough for everyone? Even though our blue planet consists of 70% water, we can only use an extremely small part of it as drinking water. 97% of all water is salty, and 2% is frozen. The remaining 1% could still be sufficient for everyone, but unfortunately, its distribution is pretty unfair. Today, more than 700 million people have no access to clean water, like Aza, who has to walk for miles to collect it and carry it home, while Tim, in another part of the world, simply turns on the tap. He uses more than 100 liters per day. What's behind this injustice? In agriculture, groundwater and water from marshlands is used to irrigate the fields. In countries with a dry and hot climate, this is especially problematic. Once pumped out of the ground, the water doesn't come back. On top, climate change and pollution make matters worse. The local population must live on dried-out land. And as the world's population grows, the demand for water is growing too. The UN estimates that in 2025, demand will be up to 40% higher than it is today. This bears the potential for conflicts about the use of water resources. Governments and societies need to change their attitudes towards water. Water systems infrastructure and technology must be upgraded, and new frameworks for intelligent water resource management and conservation have to be forged, because there is no life without water.